Born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in 1950, the baby boomer named Dan Riley came from a musical family. His uncle played piano, his aunt played guitar, his dad played piano and tenor sax, and his mom had a beautiful singing voice. Dan studied the piano through grade school until one day in 1963 when he heard something on his home radio which he says changed his life.
She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Beatles' She Loves You caused Dan to pick up the guitar, and he's never set it down since. From 1964 to 1968, he formed and performed with many bands around town. Then, in '68, he decided to study music seriously in college. It was there that he met singer-songwriter Bill Foster, and the two formed a popular duo called Second Nature. Over time, the duo evolved into a six-piece show band called Zoom, Schwartz, and Profigliano. Despite the obvious difficulty of finding enough letters to display their name on marquees, club owners liked their fresh, polished sound, and they toured throughout the Midwest. In 1975, the band dissolved, and Dan moved out west to L.A. to try and find success as part of a recording band. He came very, very close with a jazz and blues-influenced rock band named Starstream. Motown Records was looking for a band of white guys with soul, and Starstream made it through to the final two before Motown decided to go with the other band. Obviously, they made the wrong decision because that group's music never made the chart. Unsigned but undiscouraged, Dan made his way back to Wisconsin, bought a new acoustic guitar, and started working solo. He injected comedy into his act and soon had a strong and loyal following. He became a sort of resident opening act to the stars appearing at Green Bay's Carlton West Dinner Theater. One of the stars, Pat Boone, wrote this after working with Dan. Dan Riley is a triple threat entertainer. He sings, he plays, and he's funny. Make that a quad threat. He's also good looking. I said that about Elvis once, so I must be a good judge. Another star Dan opened for, Dom DeLuise, recorded this endorsement of Dan after a show.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to hear somebody who I think is absolutely incredible. An instrument that, well, if God was just, would have given it to me. The singing talents of Mr. Dan Riley.
No respect at all.
After a three-show stand opening for Rodney Dangerfield, Dan handed Rodney his business card and told him he'd love to work with him again. Almost exactly a year later, Rodney's manager called in a panic, needing a last-minute opening act for a show Rodney was to do the next weekend in Toledo, Ohio. Dan and his wife Marcy called a young pilot friend of theirs who rented a small plane and flew them to Toledo. Despite having his nerves frazzled by a hair-raising nosedive landing at the Toledo airport, Dan did so well that he became Rodney's regular opening act. For the next 2 years, they traveled together across North America, including stops in New York City, Atlantic City, and Las Vegas. It wasn't long before Dan was getting calls to work with other headliners. He toured extensively with several people, including
Welcome to my world.
Eddie Arnold,
You look marvelous.
Billy Crystal,
Families really bow their heads to pray.
The Judds,
It's not for me to say.
Johnny Mathis,
She said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down.
Reba McEntire,
Any day now.
Ronnie Millsap, and Joan Rivers.
And Sunday, February 1st and 2nd, if you check your calendars, Hollywood, Florida, at the Diplomat Hotel. Joan will be there with Clint Holmes and Dan Riley.
Yeah.
In 1989, Dan was thrilled to be invited to Atlantic City to share the stage with none other than Frank Sinatra himself.
Start spreading the news.
Over the years, Dan has also worked with other great names in pop music. Among them are Tony Bennett, Ray Charles, and Sammy Davis Jr.
Cowboys.
With nearly every major star in country music, including Waylon Jennings, Garth Brooks, Brooks and Dunn, Diamond Rio, Vince Gill, Faith Hill, Alan Jackson, George Jones, Toby Keith, Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers, and Randy Travis.
I drive kind of recklessly, I take a lot of chances, I never repair my vehicles, and I don't believe in traffic laws.
With comedy greats including George Carlin, Bill Cosby, Jay Leno, and the Smothers Brothers.
Well, I got a woman mean.
And of course, the makers of that good old rock and roll, Roy Orbison, Chicago, Jerry Lee Lewis, and countless others. Everything that Dan has done has led him to this stage, this show, this moment. He really enjoys what he does, and he wants you to enjoy yourself too. So feel free to join in, sing along, clap along. If the spirit moves you to dance, well, then go for it. The show will begin momentarily. Thank you.